Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Poonam and I am a Sydney-based wedding and event planner, and I also run South Asian wedding blog, the Maharani Diaries. If there's one good thing that has perhaps come out of 2020, it's the fact that there are still some great supportive people around in this industry. One of these awesome people is, of course, Melbourne business owner Hithanjanee Yatawara of dance and entertainment group Bindaas Bollywood. Hithanjanee also started a YouTube channel and a podcast series which is full of inspiring interviews with wedding, event, dance and small business professionals from both Australia as well as the rest of the world. I will definitely link to her channel in the description below as well. But yeah, toward the beginning of lockdown, Hithanjanee actually reached out to me to be on her podcast series. And so in this interview, I sit down with her and have a chat about my journey in this industry, how I started, the obstacles that I faced, the many obstacles that I faced. I also talk about creativity and how I found it, as well as COVID-19, of course. If you're excited about this interview as much as I was about recording it, I highly recommend that you give this video a thumbs up if you want to see me here every week, as well as don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaways were, or if you've got any tips to share as well. I'd love to hear from you. I will link to that interview now and enjoy. I will see you again very, very soon for another video. Thank you.
Hi everyone, it's Hit from Bindaas Bollywood Dance Company. Today we have a super special guest. I think you guys have all been looking forward to this, although we've kept it a bit of a surprise. Welcome, please, everyone. Round of applause. Self-isolation applause. So we have Poonam here today from the Maharani Diaries, the very premium South Asian wedding directory and also wedding planning service. Is that right?
Yeah.
You look beautiful, and I was just saying before we started recording, I love your background as well. Like, it's got the beautiful native flowers that I saw in one of your previous videos as well. They've lasted so long, so
That's actually
get onto that, everyone.
that's actually my mood board over there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Very organized.
I try and change it up every now and again, but I thought it's good to have a vision board in your office. I think it's, to be able to have those dreams and aspirations on your wall up there
Yes.
all the time. I look at it every single day.
No, I think it must be very motivating. And I think it keeps you focused as well. Just when you're constantly seeing it, you react to it, you remind yourself constantly. Yeah. So, I think everyone knows who you are and what you do, but just, yeah, I mean, the Maharani Diaries have blown up nationally and internationally as well. And I'm so happy for you. It's really great. But can you tell our audience just a little bit of history and how the Maharani Diaries started and what you actually do, what services you provide as well?
Yeah, no, well, thank you so much for this. And I'm so happy that you've started this as well for your own journey too, because people need an outlet to, such as this, to talk about anything and everything. And especially you being in the creative industry and me as well.
Yeah.
It's a really good outlet and I'm excited. So, okay, let me start off. So my professional career started off as a scientist back in Melbourne. I'm now in Sydney. I literally grew up in my father's pharmacy business. At the time, he had a pharmacy in Greensborough with Mum.
Yeah.
And at that time, obviously, science was the path to follow. Growing up around medicine and all sorts of health in the healthcare profession. You know, just growing up in the pharmacy, I just honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but science was the path to follow, I felt. And look, I had a really successful career in the pharmaceutical industry for many, many years. But I think it wasn't until my brother got married in 2007 in Melbourne. He had a big fat Indian wedding. And something just clicked for me then. I just realized at that point that I was in the wrong career. I was following the wrong career path. It's not that I didn't love science; I loved it so much, but I just loved the color of our weddings pretty much, and I at that point I started I don't know, I just did a random Google search, and I found so many wedding blogs out there on the internet, and local and international. So I started following them, and like wedding blogs weren't that big back then. Even in 2007, it wasn't
Yeah,
big.
they weren't. Not at all. No.
A lot of like Western wedding blogs out there, not too many Indian ones. And so I started following these blogs. I started collecting magazines as well. I went to the newsagent. Like, how many people go to the newsagent now to buy magazines? I don't know. I don't know. But at that point, I just wanted to learn about the wedding industry. So I collected all these bridal magazines, and look, at that point, I slogged it out. I decided that I'm going to continue going, going ahead, working in science. And then I met my husband in 2010, and I realized how difficult it was to plan our own wedding, and Indian wedding in particular. And somehow we managed to pull it off, though. I mean, that you always have family, especially to help you out with these things. And me being North Indian, marrying a South Indian, there was so much more complexity involved.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, even yourself, right? Marrying intercaste and cross-cultural wedding, there's a lot of complexity. So, I had to ask my mother-in-law for a lot of direction because I didn't know too much about South Indian weddings. And I couldn't find anything out there that could help me as well. And at that time as well, there weren't too many South Asian wedding planners out there too. So, we managed to pull it off though. And, at that point in time, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was still kind of lost. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to save up some money and I'm going to quit my job. I went through a lot of mental health issues as well, and I decided, losing my mum in 2010, and then after that there was a relapse, and I went through really bad depression and anxiety. And it was at that point that I decided, okay, maybe I need to change careers. Like, I've been dreaming of this for so long. Maybe this might do me some good. So I decided to go back to school. I went back to study hospitality and event management at William Angliss Institute in the city.
Wow. Yeah.
I did the hard yards for several years. I basically did waitressing, interning with event planners, wedding planners, volunteering as well. And
great.
I didn't love waitressing, especially, but it was fun in the sense that, like, I got to work at so many big events in Melbourne, with Melbourne being, the events capital of Australia, like so many charity events. I got to see Hugh Jackman, Nicole Kidman. Like, that was just the best part of doing waitressing at these events, was just being in the presence of all these celebrities and celeb spotting.
And I guess when you're also, like, you get to go to so many beautiful venues and see the different things that the vendors and the services and everything that comes together to put together a huge event, you kind of got a glimpse into that as well. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think for anyone starting off in this particular industry, whether it's hospitality events or weddings, it's so important to immerse yourself and in, you know, whether it's waitressing. I know you have to start off doing things like that, unfortunately. It just yeah, it gives you an idea of how things are put together, how it actually takes place. And so, you know, I really enjoyed that experience. So look, unfortunately, soon after this, we had another tragic uh, turn of events, and my husband lost his job. And so we thought, let's maybe make a change. Maybe it's time. And he's actually in research, so we thought maybe maybe we need to get out of Australia. I don't know. So he was working at Melbourne Uni at the time, and we thought, okay, we've never done the whole work and living in Europe trip. We never got to do that in our 20s.
Yeah.
The whole Euro gap trip, we never got to do that. So we thought, let's move to Europe and see what happens there. And he landed a job in Ireland, of all places, which was super cold and quite miserable.
Like colder than Melbourne?
Yeah, colder than Melbourne, and literally it rains there maybe probably like 320 days of the year it rains.
Quite a lot of rain.
A lot of rain. Yeah, and it's almost like Melbourne in a way, I guess, where it will rain for a little bit of the day, and then the sun will pop out, and then it'll rain again. So it was like that though most of the time in Ireland. And you know, at first we were both so miserable when we got there, and we were questioning, is this the right move? I'm not sure. But you know, you have to take risks sometimes, and he loved his job, so that was the most important thing. And look, that's when I thought I couldn't plan weddings and events. It was a bit tough with the whole visa situation. So I thought, let me start. You know, I've been following these blogs for so many years. Let me start blogging as my creative outlet. You know, who knows? Let's start. And then with the UK being next door, I thought, let me travel to the UK and get a feel for how the industry is over there. And I was absolutely blown away. The weddings and events, especially in the Indian, especially in the Indian wedding industry, it's just massive over there. I mean, Indians have been in the UK for so long. South Asians in general, like even the Sri Lankan community is huge there. And I was just blown away, and I got to meet so many amazing people, well-established businesses as well as startups. And yeah, I've never seen events like this in Australia, to be honest.
Wow. What a motivation though.
Yeah, a lot of motivation. So I started blogging as well. I started doing some guest blogging for another UK South Asian wedding blog over there. So on the side of my own blog, I thought, well, you know, this might get me some publicity at the same time. And then it wasn't very soon after, I started getting invited to these shows. And like, it was only like $100 ticket, return ticket from Ireland to Cork was the city we were living in, Cork to London, like literally an hour flight. And yeah, less than $100 return. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to stay with the cousins in London and attend all these shows and just get to know, you know, how it works over here. And so I did that for a couple of years, and then slowly people started noticing me, and I was able to monetize the blog then. And so through social media posts, through commissions and things like that, sales for couples, I just managed to earn some money through that. And I actually ended up landing a job at the same university as my husband too, so that was good. So that kept me going. But look, long story short, I ended up meeting some Irish wedding professionals over there in Ireland, and started working with them on a couple of styled photo shoots.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you know, like if you go to Pinterest and you look at all these pretty images on Pinterest, a lot of them aren't from real weddings. A lot of them are photo shoots.
Photo shoot.
So I
Okay.
got to learn about how to actually style a photo shoot that looks like a wedding, but it actually isn't a wedding.
Yeah.
And they showed me how it's done properly. And it was at that point, these vendors were like, you've got a really good eye for style, design, your aesthetics are really good. And I think you need to turn this blog into something more than just a blog. And I said, at that point in time, I said, oh, I don't know if I can do that here. And then it was time to move back to Australia, and I was super excited to come back home. I mean, we loved living in Europe. It was an exciting time. You know, it was a good experience. I think living abroad, not many people can say that that they've lived abroad pretty much. Growing up in Australia all our lives and being able to do that at some point, it was amazing. But I was ready to come back home, and I think he was too.
But it's great that
And he
you had
landed
each
a
other
job.
as well.
Sorry,
No, I was just going to
sorry.
say, it's great that you had each other, for that
Yeah,
new step in life. And, you learnt so much from that experience as well, both of
exactly.
you.
That's it. And look, we ended up, moving to Sydney. It's been 2 years now, and
Yeah.
um, I was actually really excited because the luxury wedding industry here in Sydney, especially, is just it's pretty incredible actually. And I knew that there were a lot of big names in the industry working here too. And at that point, I knew, okay, this is the time now to actually grow this business.
Yeah.
So I could really focus on building up the social media a lot more, because now people know that, okay, she's actually back in Australia. She's just come back from living in Europe too, and we can see that she's been to all these shows and things, and
Yeah.
people are like, oh my God, you met Sabyasachi, you met Manish Malhotra. I was like, yeah, I mean,
Oh, just
but
another day at work.
I
Wow.
had to pay sometimes to get to those shows. Like, I got the free ticket into the show. They didn't pay for my airfares though.
But what an incredible experience, though, to meet, you know,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
designers. Oh my goodness.
that's it. So look, yeah, again, long story short, like it's over the last 2 years, the social media has really grown. I've started getting a lot of inquiries from brides, and I've met so many people in the industry here in Sydney in particular. I mean, look, it's a journey though. You meet, you connect with some people and you don't.
Yeah.
But I think I've found a good group of people here who can help me, and now brides are now actually starting to ask me to help them with planning their weddings. And
Fantastic, though. That's great
yeah,
news.
you
Yeah.
know what? I really didn't think that it would happen, but touch wood. It's been a journey, but yeah, and well, in fact, this week I've just launched my first package. So,
Yes, I saw that. Congratulations. I've been seeing all your updates on Instagram, YouTube as well. No, it's fantastic. And I
so
think you said it perfectly. There's just not enough resources in terms of planning a South Asian wedding.
yeah,
Um,
and look,
yeah.
I mean, that's it. And look, I'm a lot of people probably know I'm all about diversity as well. So, I want to help all couples. It's not just Indian couples. And, this is what I've worked hard. I've worked my ass off to get to this point. And
Exactly.
I think,
Yeah.
if there's never a right time to start. As you told me as well, you know, you procrastinate a lot as well, and there's a lot of pivoting back and forth, but you finally I think, you know, it just clicks at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just, yeah, you're recognized as the Maharani anyway now. Like people recognize you as that, not just the founder and, you know, owner of the Maharani Diaries, but
That's it.
no, it's
Yeah.
good, like, because I think people have now put a face to the brand as well. They've gotten to know you through social media and what you're passionate about. And I think it's so fantastic because it's hard enough planning a wedding, especially when, you know, if you're working or if you have kids or whatever it is, like whatever the circumstances are, weddings are never easy, especially sometimes, as you were explaining about when you got married. And I think it was the same for me. Sometimes when you do ask relatives or in-laws, as much as you love them and get along with them, sometimes you don't always get all the options, and
Right.
sometimes it could be very dated. And I think
Yeah.
people remember you, that, you know, from the Maharani Diaries, because you provide that premium, you provide the quality,
Yeah.
as well,
And
of all the vendors. And yeah.
yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, this obviously this did start off as a directory, but now I'm moving it more down the wedding planning side of things. So it still acts as a directory. They come to me and I'm still providing them with the services. Okay, these are my preferred supplier lists. And, but, you know, if you want more than just me giving you a list of suppliers, I can be that person to help you from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of people out there in the South Asian community in particular doing that. And like you said as well, brides are now and grooms are after like something more than than the very traditional style of wedding now. They want to combine the best of the East and the West, and especially with cross-cultural weddings too, like you know, whether you're an Italian marrying an Aussie, sorry, marrying an Indian, or a Sri Lankan marrying an Indian. Yeah, you know, we need to cater for those audiences too. So a lot of the feedback that I've gotten from brides over the last 4 years since I started this is that we just don't know where to start.
Yeah. Because there's
So
so many, and you know, like especially like with Indian weddings, oh my gosh, the amount of events. And it's just,
exactly.
it's it is a big process, and it's not just the numerous events. You have to think about, you know, the guests who are coming, flying in from interstate,
Yeah.
internationally, and it's just so many things that, you
And
know.
what many people don't know as well is hiring a planner can actually save you money.
That's it.
Can actually save you money, and it can save you time too, because we can work together to sort of figure out. I mean, it's not to say that you have to be super rich. It's not. You know, we can work with your budget, and everyone's got different budgets.
Yeah.
And so I thought, look, let's just start small, because right now we can only have weddings up to 10 people.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and actually it's great to see that a lot of Indian couples out there are adopting the idea, because, you know, it's a tough time, and at the end of the day, it's what's important to you. And I think for a lot of couples out there, they just feel like, okay, we just want to get married. This is an important day. We do want to go ahead with our original dates, and maybe we'll save this big celebration for later. So, you know, we have to count our blessings that we can have weddings for under 10 people right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's no, it's hopefully things will get better.
Yeah,
Fingers
fingers
crossed.
crossed.
I don't know if you actually, I think you did touch on this, but I don't know if you want to elaborate on it, or what's been your most challenging
Yeah.
obstacle in terms of setting up the business? Was it the
Yeah.
moving to Europe, or?
Oh, okay. I've got a long answer for this one.
Yeah, go for it. And that's what this is all about, you know, people getting to know
Yeah.
you and your brand. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, as you know, I mean, as many entrepreneurs out there, like, we make a lot of mistakes. And I'm not afraid to admit I've made a lot of mistakes. I've seen my grandparents run a business. I've seen my own parents run a business, and it's not a smooth sailing path to run your own business.
Definitely,
Yeah, and many people don't realize this, that, you know, the path to success, it's not a straight one, and people like Oprah didn't get famous overnight.
yeah.
But, you know, I think these challenges have taught me a lot of lessons over the years, and that one particular lesson is to always persevere no matter what, no matter how hard the journey is, no matter what people say about you as well. You just got to keep on going. And there's going to be haters out there, but forget them.
Exactly. They never really go away.
That's it.
They're always going to be there.
That's it. And probably the most challenging aspect, is moving different places over the past 8 years. As I mentioned before, look, I took our time living abroad as a really good experience. If I hadn't lived in Europe, I would never have been able to say that I attended some of the most amazing bridal shows in the world. Exactly. I would never have been able to say that I've interviewed Sabyasachi. So,
what's he like, by the way? Just so our audience gets a little tiny glimpse. Most of us haven't met him.
So, for your Aussie audiences who probably don't know who Sabyasachi is, like, he's this incredible designer from India who's not just designed for Indian celebs, he's also designed for like Kylie Minogue, I think, as well, and maybe Beyonce. He's done a lot of Western celebrities too, Hollywood celebs. But yeah, he's just a powerhouse designer, and just his whole aura, like, just him, you know, seeing him in person, just standing there, I was actually quite starstruck.
Of course, yeah.
I was so starstruck. So I met him a couple of times in London. Okay. The first time I met him, I was so starstruck and I was so nervous, and I interviewed him for my blog and my voice was shaking, and he's like, don't be nervous.
Oh, that's very nice of him, though, to
he was really nice.
Down.
Don't be nervous. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just really starstruck. This is surreal. And he was really nice. But then I met him. I think I met him again a couple of years later, and we weren't allowed to interview him, unfortunately, the second time, because I don't know, there were restrictions around the publications that he wanted to be featured in. So he was only allowing BBC to interview him.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
So the rest of us were like, oh, he's changed. Oh. But no, I mean, amazing designer. And look, he's worked hard to get where he is now, and it just shows that, again, perseverance.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it.
No, I love his designs. Like, I'm glad. You must be so thankful that you got to meet him as well. So it's what a great experience.
Look, I mean, every single bride now wants to wear Sabyasachi, but look, there are other amazing designers out there. That's all I want to say.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my next question. Do you have any favorite, just local and also international designers for wedding attire?
So, look, I have so many favorites out there. It's so hard to pinpoint. Like, it's so hard to, you know.
Or what would be your maybe like top 3 or top 5?
Yeah. So, look, it's good to see lots of local designers coming up too here in Australia.
Yeah.
I'll focus on Indian to begin with. I love supporting local designers, especially in terms of bridal. There's one lady I work with in Sydney, and her name is Elora.
Yeah.
she actually started off being just a multi-designer online boutique, and now she's actually started her own collection in the last year, and she's doing pretty well, helping brides and grooms now. So yeah, so I think she's now starting to promote more of her own work, her own designs, but she's got a really good aesthetic. Her styles are so beautiful, and you know, it's not as expensive as Sabyasachi. Um, like you can buy an outfit from her for like $1,000, which is not a lot for an Indian bridal outfit.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think yeah, as far as local, I think she's great. I know it might sound lame, but in terms of Indian designers, I love Manish Malhotra.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Yeah, no, he's fantastic. His designs are great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's not for everyone because not everyone likes the bling, but
Yeah.
he, like his journey, especially you and me, like we grew up in the 90s following all these amazing Bollywood movies, and we, you know, you you'd see the outfits and you'd know Nish Malhotra design. Dil To Pagal Hai, Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, like every single big Shah Rukh Khan movie, like Manish Malhotra was the designer behind those outfits. So I just love his, like, again, like I love his story from how he started to now. And I think he started off as a model as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He was in modeling too.
Yeah.
And I think his first movie, like his first big movie was with Juhi Chawla or something. And I think that was in the early 90s. That, or Sri Devi, he designed for them. And yeah, so I love Manish. Anita Dongre is really nice too. I love Anita Dongre's stuff. Hers is probably more affordable compared to Manish Malhotra.
Yeah, no, I really like her designs.
Yeah, and I have to say a few. I have to mention a few Aussie designers too, like Aussie bridal designers. Ralph and Russo. They actually started off. They started off in Cronulla, if I'm not mistaken, in Sydney. And now they're based in London, and they again, like their story is just so inspiring. I love following people like that who've just worked so hard to get where they are. Now their design house is based in London.
Wow.
And they've even designed for Sonam Kapoor, Meghan Markle. It's just Ralph and Russo for Western bridal wear.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no, it's really great, you know, hearing about all the designers. So I think because, you know, so many people, like whether they're getting married or not, they just love the fashion of the Indian attire. So, and, you know, Western bridals as well, but it's just,
For a lot of brides out there, it usually starts with looking at the bridal gowns or the Indian dresses, you know, that's where it starts. And what I'm seeing a lot of brides now do is separate their budget for their outfits as opposed to the wedding, which makes sense, because a big chunk of your budget goes towards outfits.
Yes.
And especially if you're having multiple events, you need to break it down. So yeah, it makes total sense to separate your budget for the outfits as opposed to your wedding's separate. And I actually, you know, didn't think about that myself when I got married. And I only realized after having so many events, multiple events, how many bloody outfits you need.
Oh goodness, yeah. It does get like that. I had, I think, 1 or 2 saris left over, that because I bought them for just in case, and then we didn't end up having our Melbourne function. So basically, because I'm Sri Lankan, hubby's Indian, we had the Sri Lankan wedding in Kandy in Sri Lanka. A week later, we had the North Indian wedding in Delhi, and then we planned to come back to Melbourne and have a function for our friends and extended family here. But we were just exhausted.
Yeah.
So we did a 1-year anniversary party at the restaurant that we met at, and we just had our friends, and it
Oh,
was just like
nice.
a cocktail party. So it was just,
Yeah.
but lucky you brought the extra just in case saris.
Yeah, no, that's what I did too, actually. I did have some just in case ones, but I also realized that I needed to buy outfits for my aunties as well who were
Yes,
attending the wedding too. So, you know, that it all adds up. And
it
this is
does.
something that you don't think about, especially with, yeah, a South Asian wedding. You know, you have to buy gifts for your relatives as well.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
there's a lot of things people are not aware of, and that's why I'm really recommending to all our audience, just get in touch with Poonam when you're planning a
yeah,
wedding, because
yeah,
you could get to the end of your budget and realize, holy shit, there are things that I haven't done according to my culture or according to the expectations of the in-laws or your own family. So you never know. So it's
no,
always great to talk to an expert.
yeah, definitely.
But I was going to ask you, because we're in the midst of COVID. So how's COVID-19 affected your business? I mean, how has it affected the Maharani Diaries, and like how
Um,
are you adjusting your
yeah.
services accordingly?
So look, I'm trying not to talk about it too much now.
Same, honestly. So we can totally skip that question.
No, no,
It's
no,
not a
it's
problem.
fine. I
Yeah.
wanted to touch on it though. Initially, I was really skeptical because I went through like, I think when it first hit, it was 2 weeks of just, I was in a slump and I just had no idea what I was going to do. But actually, I had planned to launch these services in March. Yeah, sorry, when it hit. Yeah, just before it hit. And, but you know, look, I think that you just have to stay positive. And I don't know. I just did a 360, and I was like, you know what, stuff this. I'm just gonna go ahead and launch this anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
If I don't launch now, I never will. And that's what I'm telling other businesses out there too: is that don't stop creating, don't stop servicing your clients or your customers as well, because people need to know that you're out there and you're still in business.
That's right. Exactly.
And I thought, okay, now's a good time to just start small, launch this intimate wedding package, and then I'm going to continue going full steam with content creating too, because I love it. Um, but yeah, I'm just going to be building up these wedding planning and coordination services over the next 6 months, pretty much. That will
No,
take us to the end of the year.
yeah, no, that's fantastic. Especially like I've seen all your updates and posts and videos about intimate weddings, and a lot of people are jumping on board because they don't want to delay their wedding. And
Yeah,
great if you can delay it, but for those of you that want to get married and have a smaller ceremony, definitely get in
yeah,
touch with Poonam. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, I know, like, I've heard from couples who've lost some money as well, but
Yeah.
we've all lost money, unfortunately, during this period.
Oh my gosh, yes, yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to adapt. That's it.
No, that's it. Yeah. I think hopefully we'll come out of this soon. And it's everyone saying we are all in this together, and we're all in this together, because it's affecting the entire world, and it's affecting
Mm,
every industry.
that's it.
Yeah, there's really nothing much we can do except
Yeah, that's it.
plan properly, like get advice about planning. Yeah.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, no, keep on planning. I think this is your next question, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I did want to ask you. So, what advice would you give to couples who are
Yeah.
currently planning their wedding for 2020, but also 2021 next year?
Yeah. So look, keep on planning because, you know, like you said, we'll come out of this eventually.
Yeah.
There's no reason to stop doing what you're doing. Um, and people in the wedding industry are still working. People like yourself as well. You're still helping couples plan ahead for next year and the year after. So yeah, stay positive, stay productive, and yeah, still out there to help anyone. Like even if you got any random questions, just doesn't matter. Just
Better
reach
to ask and get the correct information as
Exactly.
well. And
Yeah.
what I've noticed with our bookings, and I've spoken to other vendors as well,
Yep.
don't stop planning, as Poonam said, just
Yep.
to our whole audience, because
That's it.
we've got rearrangements happening, so we're getting booked for next year. Like some of the photographers
Yeah.
that we work with, DJs
Yeah.
that we work with, everyone's already getting booked because people have postponed their weddings or they're planning already for next year just to be safe, instead of planning for this year. So
Yep.
yeah, look, vendors are getting booked out, so don't
Yeah.
stop. As Gordon said, you got to keep going. You got to keep doing your research, and even if you're not going to make an official booking or official deposit, just at least give the businesses a call. Make sure you let them know what your concept is and what your thoughts are as well.
Yeah, no, so true. So true.
I know. It's just I just really hope brides and grooms don't get like it's very mentally challenging for everyone, this whole situation. So
Yeah.
don't lose hope.
Yeah, no, look, it's a tough period, but it's tough for a lot of people out there, even if you're not a bride too. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, we will get out of it soon. Touch wood.
Definitely. Um,
We're doing better than most countries.
oh yeah.
That's a good
Well,
sign.
yes, definitely a good sign. But I was gonna
Yeah.
say, our time's actually up, but I have one more thing
Yep.
before you go. It's a quick word game. So basically, I'm gonna say one word, and you
Okay.
respond with the first word or sentence that comes to mind. So that way you don't have to really think too much. It's basically like an automatic reaction.
Okay, so a sentence is fine too, because I'm pretty bad with just coming up with one word.
Yeah, look, one word or one sentence. I kind of stole this segment from Jay Shetty's podcast, so I thought
Oh
this
yeah,
might be interesting because
I
I
didn't think of that.
I don't watch his personal videos that I know he does a lot, but I do watch the interview podcast that he does with so
Oh,
many
okay.
different,
He's amazing.
a variety of humans throughout the globe.
Yeah,
But
he's such a great person to follow at this point in
yeah,
time, especially like just
definitely.
so inspiring and just, especially if you need your mental health
Yeah,
check.
exactly.
Someone like him is good to listen to right now. Yeah.
Definitely. All right,
Go
ready?
for it.
Okay, so I'm like one word and you respond however as quickly as you
Okay.
can.
Yep.
Sydney.
Human.
Scott Morrison.
Okay.
Bride.
Chiller.
Flowers.
Oh God, this is hard. Um, decor.
Oh, nice. TikTok.
Questionable.
Good answer. India.
Incredible.
Melbourne.
Awesome.
Of course we. Okay, the word slay.
What?
The word slay, SLAY, hashtag slay.
Oh, oh, gee, that's a hard one.
It's just, everyone's hashtag slay, regardless of gender, and I'll throw it in there.
Forever.
Forever.
Slay forever.
Slay forever. There we go. I'll use that one for this podcast, definitely. Okay, two more. Elope.
Do it.
Why not? Last one. Bollywood.
Shah Rukh Khan.
I was just going to say, I had a feeling you might say that, but that's okay. I think we're roughly about this similar ages, so I think, Shah Rukh Khan is probably something everyone's going to say.
I mean, Shah Rukh Khan is a favorite with most people, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. No. I got the opportunity to meet him during the Chuck the
Oh,
India
nice.
shoot when they were doing it here, and also
Oh, was this Chuck the India?
yes, Chuck the
Yes.
India. So I think we did the dancing every weekend in Melbourne, Sydney as
What did he
well.
say to
So
you?
he was really, he's very humble. He was very quiet on set. So he basically in between takes, he's just sitting down. He's got his coffee, he's chain smoking, but he's chit chatting as well, just with whoever's very close. But apart from that, he was very quiet and very humble. And I think I got the biggest compliment of my life because we just finished performing a routine to Chaya Chaya. And as I
Yep.
walked past him, he just looked up and he said, "You did better than I did." And I, and I thought, well, I wasn't dancing on top of a train, but I did my
No,
best.
no. Did
No,
he actually do that though? Did he do
I
the
think he
train?
did. I think him and Malika both, yeah. And all
We're
the
actually
extras,
on
they
the
were
train.
actually on the train, yeah.
Incredible.
They did
Yeah,
good, yeah.
I was actually there. I was
On
so
the
I
train?
set up,
At the Chaka India shoot, yeah.
yeah, I was there in the audience,
Mhm.
and you know how they needed extras for the audience.
Yeah, yeah.
I was there with my friend, and it was a long day though, super long. But I
They
just
were very
remember
long.
seeing him there, like, yeah, he seemed like a really cool, calm
Yeah,
sort of guy.
he was very
But
chilled out.
yeah, maybe that was the cigarettes.
Well, they do wonders sometimes.
Yeah,
But no, I think you said it perfectly. They were long days, and that's the
yeah,
whole reason why we were there. And I think
yeah,
June Bollywood were there, Natya Bollywood, like so it was good fun. Yeah, we got to
yeah,
dance in between the sets basically. I think he got up with June Bollywood to dance as well, so that was fun for
yeah.
Marshi and her crew. So it was
Yeah. Oh,
good
yeah.
fun.
No, I think I was there on the day that you guys performed,
Oh gosh,
and I've
so
still got the
long ago.
photos.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so long ago now.
It
Jeez.
was, I think it was 2006 or 7. Long time ago.
Oh wow.
And we're still young, don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for taking the time out, especially on the weekend, because I know you're such a busy person as well. But everyone, make sure you have a look at all the details below. All of Poonam's details are below for the Maharani Diaries, so do get in touch. Do not wait. So she's probably the best person to give you some advice regarding your South Asian wedding or non-South Asian wedding.
That's it. All
All
right.
right,
Thanks,
thank
you.
you
See you
so
later.
much.
Bye.
Bye.